Summer, 1975. Bloomfield Township, Michigan. In the Machus Red Fox parking lot, a dark green 1974 Pontiac Grandville sat unlocked. Its owner, Jimmy Hoffa, was gone. He'd come for a meeting, one that would decide his future. By morning, the car was still there. Hoffa had vanished. His family knew something was wrong. Hoffa was always punctual. The police found no struggle, no blood, just an empty car and a missing legend. News spread fast. Jimmy Hoffa was missing. The search had begun. Who was Jimmy Hoffa? More than a name, he was a force. Born in Indiana, 1913, Hoffa learned struggle early. His father died young. The family moved to Detroit. Hoffa quit school to work, saw the tough life of the working man, and started organizing. He joined the Teamsters, saw their potential, and quickly rose through the ranks. Hoffa wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty, organizing strikes, fighting scabs, negotiating hard. He delivered for his members better wages, pensions, lives. To them, he was a hero. By 1957, Hoffa was president of the Teamsters, the largest, most powerful union in America. If the Teamsters stopped, America stopped. Hoffa controlled the nation's arteries and knew it. But power came with a price. To build his empire, Hoffa made deals with men in the shadows, the Mafia. The Teamsters pension fund became the mob's personal bank. Billions loaned for shady projects. The mob got money, Hoffa got muscle. It was a perfect partnership. Until it wasn't. The government noticed. Corruption, organized crime, infiltration. Robert F. Kennedy made it his mission to take Hoffa down, creating a Get Hoffa squad. Their feud was legendary, personal, bitter. After years of investigations, Kennedy finally got him. In 1967, Hoffa went to prison for jury tampering and fraud. His reign was over, or so it seemed. Prison didn't break Hoffa. It made him angrier. From his cell, he watched Frank Fitzsimmons, his hand-picked successor, run the Teamsters. Fitzsimmons grew comfortable. The mob liked him. He was easier to control than Hoffa. The Mafia didn't want the old boss back. In 1971, President Nixon commuted Hoffa's sentence, but barred him from union activity until 1980. For Hoffa, the Teamsters were his life. He believed Nixon, Fitzsimmons, and the mob conspired to keep him out. Hoffa fought back, legally, publicly. He threatened to expose the mob's control over the pension fund. He was ready to name names, tear down the house of cards. Dangerous men don't like threats. One was Tony Provenzano, a Teamsters boss, and Genovese crime family captain. Hoffa and Tony Pro were once friends, even cellmates, but now bitter enemies. Hoffa needed Tony Pro's support for a comeback. He reached out to Tony Giacalone, Detroit's top mob boss, to set up a peace meeting. Hoffa believed he could talk his way back into power. He underestimated how much his old friends now feared him. He was too loud, too unpredictable, a problem that needed a permanent solution. The stage was set for that final meeting at the Machus Red Fox, a meeting that was actually a trap. Wednesday, July 30th, 1975. Hoffa was in good spirits, preparing for a crucial meeting. He told his wife he was meeting Tony Giacalone and Tony Provenzano at the Machus Red Fox at 2 p.m. He left home at 1:15, driving his son's green Pontiac. Hoffa told a friend, Louis Lanto, where he was going, a precaution. He arrived at the restaurant and waited. 2 o'clock came and went. No sign of the men. Hoffa called his wife from a payphone, frustrated. He called Lanto too. Witnesses saw him pacing in the parking lot. Then, he was gone. The FBI believes a maroon Mercury pulled up. Inside were men Hoffa knew, likely including his foster son, Chucky O'Brien. Hoffa would have trusted O'Brien, gotten in the car without a fight, thinking he was being taken to the real meeting. He was wrong. It was his last ride. The men in the car were his executioners, acting on Mafia orders. The plan: get Hoffa in the car, keep him calm, take him to a nearby house, finish the job. A classic mob setup: trusted face, lowered guard, quiet elimination. For Hoffa, it was the end of the line. The investigation was massive. Hundreds of agents, thousands of interviews. The FBI called it Hoffex, the Hoffa extermination. They knew the main players, Giacalone, Provenzano, the Detroit and Genovese crime families. The problem was proving it. The mob's code of silence, omerta, held firm. The key suspects had perfect alibis. Tony Giacalone was at the athletic club. Tony Provenzano was in New Jersey. The bosses who order the hit are never at the scene. Physical evidence was thin. Hoffa's car was clean. The FBI searched the maroon Mercury Chucky O'Brien drove. Dogs detected the scent of decomposition. Blood and hair were found, but technology couldn't confirm it was Hoffa. Despite the effort, the case stalled. No body, no weapon, no confession. The grand jury heard from hundreds, most uncooperative. The FBI had a good idea of what happened, outlined in the Hoffex memo, but without a body, the case remained open, a ghost haunting the FBI. With no body and no convictions, theories multiplied. Hoffa's disappearance became a modern American myth. Some said he was buried in Giants Stadium's concrete. The FBI searched, nothing. Others claimed he was incinerated in a mob-owned plant, shredded, or sunk in the Great Lakes. The stories were wild, meant as warnings. When you cross the mob, you disappear. All theories pointed to the Mafia. The motive was clear. Hoffa threatened to expose decades of corruption. The men he was to meet, Tony Pro and Tony Jack, were key links. The FBI believed Hoffa was killed in a Detroit area house soon after being picked up. The mob was skilled at making bodies vanish, quick burial, no trace. For years, the FBI dug up farms, searched driveways, drained ponds, always nothing. The mob had done its job too well. For decades, the case was cold, until Frank, the Irishman Sheeran talked. Sheeran, a high-ranking Teamster and mob hitman, was close to Hoffa. As he neared the end of his life, Sheeran confessed to Charles Brandt for the book I Heard You Paint Houses. He said Russell Bufalino, a powerful Mafia don, gave the order. Hoffa had to go. Sheeran was chosen because Hoffa trusted him. Sheeran claimed he was in the car that picked Hoffa up, Chucky O'Brien driving, Sal Brigulio there too. They drove to an empty house in Detroit. Hoffa sensed something was wrong. Sheeran shot Hoffa twice in the back of the head. Quick, efficient, a betrayal by a friend. A second team wrapped the body, took it to a mob-controlled crematorium and incinerated it. No body, no evidence, just a story. Many law enforcement officials believe Sheeran's confession is the most credible account. It fits the evidence, connects the key players, and explains why Hoffa was never found. The final, chilling chapter in the life of Jimmy Hoffa. More than 50 years later, the mystery endures. Hoffa is part of American folklore, a symbol of the dark intersection of power, labor, and organized crime. The case is a ghost in the American psyche, a story we keep telling, a puzzle we keep trying to solve. It's about power, corruption, betrayal, and loyalty, a real-life gangster movie with a missing ending. Hoffa's disappearance marked the end of an era. He was larger than life, a union boss as famous as a movie star. His vanishing act showed the mob's power. No one was untouchable. The mob's influence in unions waned after that. The government crackdown intensified. The legacy is its lack of resolution. We crave answers, but with Hoffa, there's no final peace. No gravesite, no judgment, just theories and confessions. The ambiguity lets the legend grow, keeps the story alive. In the end, Hoffa achieved a strange immortality. Forever the tough guy in the parking lot, waiting for a meeting that was a trap. His story lives on in books, movies, and American culture, a cautionary tale. The mystery is likely solved, but because he was erased so completely, Jimmy Hoffa will forever remain America's most famous missing person, a ghost who will never truly be gone.